Hey, what's up? My name is David Benjamin. I'm the founder of HealthyWildandFree.com. And the work that I do on HealthyWildandFree.com is I basically interview experts, best-selling authors, PhDs, MDs, NDs, anyone who works in the health space in some sort of way or another, whether it be kind of more of on a scientific end of things, or more on a nutritionist end of things, or working with patients directly. I've interviewed people all around the board, and I have a lot of different friends that work in the health space in many different aspects of health and wellness. And I wanted to make this video today to ask him, just ask this simple question: is this whole ice bucket ALS challenge, is it a scam? Is it a hoax? Is it something that is it already a failure? Has it already failed in helping ALS patients? And the reason I ask that question is because there have been a lot of different diseases such as cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and things like that, that literally hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars have been raised for these different diseases and for different scientific research. And before I get into the video today, I just want to share with you, there's really two ways that you can react to this video. You can either be open-minded and listen to what I have to say and respect my opinion as a sane human being, or you can disrespect me, have an emotional reaction, and get angry at me for just sharing information that may be different than what you've heard before. And the reason I asked that question, is this whole ALS ice bucket thing a scam, a hoax, and is it really helping anyone, is because personally I feel and believe, based on the research that I've done and that I'm going to share with you, that it really isn't helping anyone, unfortunately. And the reason for that is because I've looked into it personally. So, for example, if you go to ALS.org, it talks about the disease. There's approximately 30,000 people in the US that have it at any given time. And it's a disease it's a neurodegenerative disease such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and things like that, which neurodegenerative diseases affect millions of Americans, but ALS is one of the smaller ones. And what I found through my research is that really there's only one option. Okay, so if you go to ALS.org, it actually says currently, well, we don't know the causes or anything like that, but it says currently there are no treatments or cures to reverse ALS. There is only one FDA-approved drug, and it's called Riluzole or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. And this drug is the only option that this organization gives you and tells you about. And I thought, okay, that's kind of weird and interesting that they don't know a lot about it. There's no treatments or cures. It's a neurodegenerative disease that affects the brain and the spinal column, and really the body just degenerates over time, and the brain does, and the spinal cord, and the body does over time. And so I started looking into it, and I looked into this ALS organization, and I read and found out that, believe it or not, only 27% of the money that goes into this organization actually goes into research. And I thought to myself, 27%? You got to be able to do better than that. I mean, 27%, where is the other 73%? I don't know. Like, where does that 73% go? I have no idea. No one knows. So that was kind of a red flag for me. I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting to know. No one is talking about that in the ice bucket challenge videos. They're just pouring ice over their heads, and they're not really understanding or becoming aware of what this disease is and what is really going on here. So 27% of the money actually goes to research. In my mind, that's a failure. In my mind, that's quite pathetic. In my mind, they're either stealing 73% or giving 73% to pharmaceutical companies, or I don't know what they're doing. The CEO is probably making six figures doing nothing and sitting on his ass. I really don't know. That's a problem in my mind. And yeah, 27%, that could be seen as a positive, but let's talk about that for a minute. So 73% of it is already, it's gone. We don't know where it went. 27% of the money. Tens of millions of dollars have been spent on creating the first drug for ALS. There's a generic brand, and then there's the name brand now. And it even says on the ALS website, this drug is really frustrating because it does not work in treating ALS symptoms. Look it up. 27% of the money raised, which $53+ million now, so take 27% of that, is actually going to go towards research for ALS, and tens of millions of dollars have already been spent before on a drug that has failed utterly miserably. And I'm not saying this time around, they couldn't have a great breakthrough, but the reason I'm skeptical is because on the website, they say, there's no treatments or cures, there's only one drug, and it's this drug. And then when you look into it, people like, for example, I saw this video of this guy today talking about ALS, and ALS runs genetically in his family, et cetera, et cetera. His mom I think it was his mom that had ALS, and then now he's getting symptoms of ALS, and he basically believes there's no hope. Well, I have what I believe to be good news for him is that there is hope, because if you look further into it, you will find an interesting book and an interesting video about people that are using simply coconut oil to reverse and manage symptoms of ALS and other neurodegenerative diseases. Now you might think, that's ridiculous, and get mad at me at this point, because how could something so simple be so great and so successful and work so well? I don't know. But there's over 220 documented cases of people reversing neurodegenerative diseases from an MD in her book. And I will link that up below so you can read more about this yourself and do your own research. But 220 cases. Why does ALS.org not mention this at all whatsoever? Nothing. You don't hear anything about this. And just to explain, and just from my understanding of what this is, basically ALS is a neurodegenerative disease where the body can no longer use glucose. It's insulin resistance. The body can no longer use glucose, so the brain begins to degenerate over time because it doesn't have that source of energy. Same with the spinal cord and really the rest of the body eventually. And coconut oil has something, well, it creates something in the body called ketones, K-E-T-O-N-E-S, which creates a ketogenic state in the body. It's basically fat being oxidized. Oxidizes like the process of oxygen breaking it down, which is a digestive process, so that when that fat is oxidized with coconut oil in your body, it creates a ketogenic state for your body to be in, and ketones are an alternative source of energy for your brain and for your body as a whole. So that is why in this video, I will share right below this video, please watch this video, I beg of you, this guy who had, I want to say it was Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or something like that. He could literally not draw anything. It was kind of like whatever. It was barely anything. And then months into using coconut oil, he can draw now. He can like move and navigate, and he's literally just using coconut oil. Now, I'm not one of those people that's like, coconut oil cures everything, and this magical thing cures everything. But there is something to that, and I think to completely ignore that, and you're an organization that's raising $50+ million to research something, and you won't even address the simplest thing that we can buy at a local grocery store, is ignorant as fuck. Yes, I said it. I said fuck. I'm part French. Get over it. So, if we cannot even look at the basic things like that, I think it's ignorant. That's ignorant. You should be pissed off at them, not me. I don't know why people are pissed off at me for sharing this information. And I know they will be because they're ignorant and they choose to be ignorant. And they believe that ignorance is strength. And they believe that, oh, it's something positive. Well, something positive will be aware to actually make a positive change, an impactful change that actually affects people on a level where you can actually physically see it. Not something that's hypothetical in your mind and not actually happening. Change occurs when you see it. Change occurs when it happens. Not when money goes from one place to another and 73% of it disappears automatically and the other 27% goes to fund another pharmaceutical drug that has side effects, that doesn't work, and that costs anywhere from $200 to $2,200 each month, depending on if it's a generic brand or the name brand, which costs 30,000 people in the US alone $6 million to $66 million per month approximately, to treat symptoms and not do anything positive for ALS victims or people that live with ALS. So if you want to talk about what's really going on, if you want to say that ALS drugs aren't profitable, and yeah, they're not as profitable as cancer or any other diseases that are more mainstream, diabetes and things like that, I agree. But $6 million to $66 million a month in revenue, you think the pharmaceutical industry is just going to ignore that? They have billions of dollars. They'll create some shitty drug. They already have. It doesn't work. Go to ALS.org. They say it themselves. It doesn't work. So, what does Big Pharma do? This is kind of a small disease. We don't really care that much. Let's create an ice bucket challenge. That seems like a good idea. Let's have people dump ice over the head and then donate money. And so far it's worked. $53+ million have been donated, of which 27% will actually go to research, which may create a new shitty drug. But that doesn't matter because coconut oil, something so simple and so basic, that has already worked for over 220 people from this one woman, this one MD that has looked into it into it in her own life, and her own husband has been through this, and she's helping others do it, and her book describes this, they aren't even talking about that. They're completely ignoring it. Coconut oil is not patentable. A drug is patentable. It's all about the profits. It's all about the money. And if you don't understand that at this point in your life, and you're a grown-ass adult, you probably believe anything anyone told you. It's about the money and it's about the profits. And if you don't see that, then you're not going to see the truth in this video. So the reason I'm so passionately fired up about this and angry and pissed off at big pharma and big medical associations that perpetuate these lies and ignorance and just bullshit is because they're either lying to you or they're giving you false hope to keep you ignorant, weak, and dependent on what they have to provide, which is one solution. So my question for you is this Ice Bucket Challenge really helping anyone? Are ALS patients really going to benefit from these Ice Bucket videos and the disease? It doesn't matter if more people know about the disease. It matters if more people know about the cure. It matters if more people know how to prevent the disease. Everyone knows about cancer. Does that mean they're going to have less cancer? No. They still eat shitty food and make shitty decisions. It doesn't really matter if you know about a disease. It's not about disease awareness. It's about cure and treatment awareness. And that is the big problem with these different organizations and pharmaceutical companies. They're perpetuating ignorance, and they're promoting it to be strength. You're strong, and you're positive, and you're popular if you pour ice over your head. People want to be popular. They want to do what's popular. They want to fit in with what's current, what's relevant. And that's what people are doing. They're dumping ice over their heads. But I promise you that the brain freeze caused by these funny viral videos is not going to help anyone. It never will. This research money is not going to help anyone. The only thing it's going to do is develop more pharmaceutical drugs that have more side effects that cost a lot of fucking money and harm people. So, for my sake, for your sake, for your friends and family's sake that have ALS, or you have ALS, or heart disease, or cancer, or any disease, stop paying attention to what mainstream media and the masses are telling you. Do your own research. Wake up. Google something. Read a book. Learn, educate yourself. Try something. I've had my own journey and my own experience in life where I had heart palpitations at 19 years old, and I had no idea why. I started learning and researching and understanding what was causing this, and now I haven't had heart palpitations in years. Everyone has a journey and everyone has a story, and it is part of your journey and your story to find out the ultimate truth and to know that and be aware of that and help spread the truth. And that is my job, and that is why I made this video, is to spread the truth, was to spread real awareness, not bullshit fake awareness that's going to quote-unquote help someone. But at the end of the day, if you really look into it, you know it's not going to help anyone. So if you have ALS, or if you know someone that has ALS, try coconut oil. Look at the video below this. They talk about coconut oil, and they give actual examples of that, of people rejuvenating and regenerating from this. Read the book. I'll link that up below as well. And think differently. Be open-minded. Don't be so emotionally reactive. You could get angry at this, or you could think, huh, maybe he's right. Maybe he thought of something, or maybe there's more to this. Maybe there is. Just maybe. Don't let your ego get involved, and don't let your ego have to be so right that you emotionally react to me. Think about it. Let it sink in for a little bit. See the world through a different vantage point, a different perspective, through a different pair of eyes. And I think that by doing that, you'll start to see things differently, and you'll benefit differently in your life, and maybe you can help someone in your life like I've helped a lot of people in my life now, just by changing my own life and being the change that I want to see in the world. Becoming more aware, becoming healthier, and learning what true health and well-being is, and not being so caught up and sold by what's positive and popular, quote-unquote, when really, at the end of the day, all that fluffy, stuff is just going down a black hole, and we don't know where it goes. So I just ask you to think differently, and this is really like a message that comes from my heart. I know so many people that have been negatively affected by the mainstream medical system. Doctors don't know what to tell them. They have pain, aching. They're literally people that are literally dying or just bedridden, and they can't do anything about it. And doctors do not know. It's because doctors are not trained in nutrition and health and well-being. They're trained in pharmacology, and the pharmaceutical industry owns your mind when it comes to health and well-being. Pop a pill! It's easy. But to change your lifestyle, to change your diet, to live an actual healthy lifestyle, that is where true health and well-being comes in. Prevention is not only prevention of disease, but prevention is actually the cure. I promise you there's more to this story. So please look into it for yourself. I'll link that information down below. Thanks a lot for your time. I really respect and appreciate you for watching this video to the very end. Whether your opinion aligns and agrees with mine or not. I appreciate your time, and thank you so much. Subscribe to this channel, like this video if you enjoyed it, leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you think, and thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Bye.